One of my goals is to help you become very influential with the people below, the people across, the people in front, behind, and mostly with the people above, right? It could be your banker, it could be your investors, it could be your partners, it could be your bosses, okay? The hierarchy above it. And becoming influential is really an opportunity. Why is it an opportunity? It's because people do not know how to align. I've been going all over the world in more than 30 countries, trained thousands of people in companies, and they fundamentally have a problem of alignment. People are going this way, this way, this way. So if you can help that, you become incredibly useful and influential, all right? So I'm going to share with you a part of my leadership program called Accelerator, which is a full-blown training with coaching and with tons of resources and a lot of networking between top leaders. But I'm going to show you this part, which is really important. And so you're going to see this lecture that's going to explain the process. Your job will be to understand it and to begin to practice it. And talk to your boss about creating a laser focus, meaning what we want to do we agree? Are we understanding the same thing? Do we understand the same priorities? You have your role, I have my role, we are partners, that was in the previous video. We want to win. If I help you win, you'll help your boss win. And then I get my resources, my time, and my vacation, and I don't burn out. So there's a lot of benefits in doing this. And I'm so proud and so happy about this process, because if you practice it, I want to hear from you about it. So let's go. Here's the course. Now let us make sure that everybody in the organization under your influence is behaving like an orchestra playing the same symphony. Since you are impacted by an ecosystem around you, above, across, and below, we want all to understand and support what you are focusing on. Now you know how to say yes, how to say no, you know how important the relationship with your boss is. Now it's time to be aligned and agree on what we put forward, what is important. So we will be using two key articles from McKinsey. The first one is making time management the organization's priority, and the second one, a personal approach to organizational time management. These are really some really good, simple articles that I highly recommend to read. It's easy to find on the web. If you can't find it, let me know during our weekly calls and I make sure you'll find one. Spend the time reading, which is a really good habit. And a lot of what I'll propose is going to be aligned with that, because researchers have already shown that it's effective. Peter Brigham has been doing great work. You can find him on YouTube in TEDx lecture. So here's a process we are going to be focusing on, how to create priority alignment. First, spend some time, it may take some time to think, and put everything you do in terms of 5 priorities for the coming year. And it will force you to limit and not have 20 priorities, and what you find a way to deal with the rest of it. Now, focus on the 5 priorities and discuss this with a level above. So, of course, the level above would probably say, no, this is not really what's important and why. That is a strategic alignment discussion. You want to know what's important to the level above and, of course, adapt and change your priorities based on that, because that's what they want, that's what they need to get. Third, present and share your priorities with a level across, because they influence it. It's not about changing it. It's just making sure, hey, I'm doing this piece, you're doing this piece. Are we okay with that? Of course, if you have a disagreement, you go one step above, but typically you shouldn't have to do that. But you want them to know there are these 5 things that are important. I'm not worrying about the other stuff. Okay, so stop bothering me about the other stuff because it has less of my energy into it. You want to do that with your peers, with other members of whatever team or projects you are involved in, with your partners, suppliers, everybody basically that is collaborating for your success. Fourth, present and share with the level below. Why? Because they need to change and update their own priorities so that they are aligned and focused on delivering what you promised to the level above. And that's what will get the budget, and this is what will get attention, and this is what will be rewarded. So it's better to focus on what will be rewarded. That's something that will be perceived as not as important, not as crucial, not as long-term, maybe urgent and necessary, but you're going to have to deliver those 5 priorities and help them adjust their own priorities. Finally, use this to become more specific and establish goals, milestone actions, and daily routines. Now that we have this down, all our daily routines are going to be basically much simpler. So let's do this step by step. Now, spend some time thinking about your strategic priorities for next year. Remember the 20-80 rules. 20% of what you do is going to create 80% of what's needed. So identify those 20% and let go of the bottom 20% and cut down on the middle 60%. You've seen that in the law of Pareto. Direction, what are we doing? How do we position ourselves in our niche, in our market, in our zone of excellence? Where is it that we have the best chance to create the best impact? This is really a strategic positioning. So be clearer on the direction that you want to go next year. Finally, another part is how will I deliver? Capacity. Focus on the elements that will help you execute and deliver efficiently, work less, and achieve more. So here's a method that I highly recommend. The 6-box method. You will have 5 priorities, and I've put some examples that are relevant to my own business, but many other businesses there. And you'll notice that there's a 6th box, right? So the first box, for instance, could be refocus on higher margins. The second one, create a digital experience. Third could be help clients understand the new model and see some benefit into it and some gains into it. Fourth, be more present, reinvent your marketing presence. 5 priorities, less advertisement, more client obsession so that we have word of mouth. So this is typically for a company that's really focused on services, for instance. Now, you notice that the box number 6 is called the other 5%. It's whatever else that should not take more than 5% of your time. So on a daily basis, all these little things you need to do that are not between 1 and 5. It's like sugar, no more than 5% of it a day, all right? So yes, you will need to sort and put a number of things, and you'll see there's a ton of things that are going to end up in box number 6. Some of these things that you like doing, enjoy doing, and believe it's important, but it's not aligned. Sorry. So you'll do this work, and you'll help others do it. Therefore, people below will align to your priorities. So priority number 1 will become the 5 priorities of somebody working for you. Priority 2 will become the priority for another person working for you. So you can see that it trickles down nicely. It means that you will be basically sharing it to the people below that will be sharing it possibly to other people below. It's really a top-down process, and there's nothing wrong with it, and you will be able to make sure that the whole organization is supported and gets all the resources they need to deliver on that, and maximize the chances that the level below will get the results that were planned strategically. We will focus on the strategic work later to make sure that we have the right priorities anyway. But this is not what it is about. This is about making sure we all go in the right direction. This will turn into your personal action plan, and these are examples that I've said. Here's what I'm doing to do. This is who is doing it, and I've put in green things that seems to be well and done, in yellow something that may need your attention with the initial of the person in charge of it, and I put in red something is not working, so we're going to go in there, find out, troubleshoot what is going to be doing there. So use this form to inspire yourself to keep track of how your priorities are going on a daily basis. This enables you to really use my hand metaphor when you get in conversations and push back conversations with your bosses and everybody around. It says, hey, I have 5 priorities. They are aligned. All right. You want me to change one? Which one? I don't have 6 fingers. I only have 5 fingers. We agreed on it. We're all aligned on it. And you notice that this new initiative you just got excited about, that's another finger. What do we do? And then you get a nice conversation. Basically, you're pushing back and saying no. You've said yes to all the priorities, right? And now it's maybe time to say, hey, no. Now, since your boss is the number one reason people have a burnout, go on medical leave or leave the company, and the relationship is rotten, we have found a way to make sure we avoid this and burst. We're going to be bursting the burnout bubble here